So next is prepare well in advance. Now many people are busy, many people are last minute people, and they feel that I'll just do it the night before. Not good. Because if you're not really familiar with your talk, you can't carry it off without being nervous. Think about, has anybody raise your hand if you've ever been in a play? Have you ever been in a play? Yeah, it might be high school, college, something. How many weeks did you rehearse? Months. And you can't leave anything to chance because you have to familiarize not only your brain but your mouth and your body language with every move in the play. I remember once I was in a play, and the night of the play, the director said to me, "You know what? I think I want you to make an entrance holding a pocketbook." Well, we never rehearsed that. Now that sounds like something very simple. I'm holding a pocket. What's the big deal? Well, you know what happened? I got on stage. I'm right in front of the whole audience, right? This is live, right? I got the pocketbook. I go to myself, what the heck do I do with the pocketbook? And then you know what happened? My mind got consumed with thinking about what do I do with the pocketbook, and what do you think I did? I forgot my lines. Exactly. So that's the same way with a presentation. That's why I recommend having it prepared well in advance, because then you live with it a while and you get used to it. Legible notes. How many of you, show of hands, have ever gone to a presentation where the presenter says, I can't read my handwriting? Yeah. Why would you do that? Don't have notes that you can't read. Make sure you can read your notes. Rehearse. When you first start as a presenter, you should rehearse. As you get more and more experience, you'll need less and less rehearsal. And in fact, most of the rehearsal may end up just in your brain. But in the beginning, when I started 25 years ago, I rehearsed until my family said, "Shut up." You know, it's just constantly going over everything, over and over and over. It's practice. Keep your sense of humor. Have you noticed number 7 and 6 come up again?
And 9.
Yeah, and 9. Because I think it's the most important thing. Because when you're having fun up here, the audience has fun too. When you look like you're dying and you're so uncomfortable, the audience is cringing. You know, I wish you'd sit down, you know. So have fun and they'll have fun. Okay, so that's pre-speech best practices. Now let's go to the day of the speech. Eat and drink modestly. Now here's what people do. Some people say, I can't eat. I'm sick to my stomach, I can't eat. Do you know how many people I've known who have passed out because they didn't eat anything? Low blood sugar, and they go down. Make sure you eat. That doesn't mean you're going to go to the International House of Pancakes and have the large pancake special, because that'll make you fall asleep. But make sure you do eat and drink moderately. Now warm up. What do I mean? When you're in the car, sing. Singing is the best vocal warm-up. No one has to hear you sing in the car. But you've got to warm up your vocal cords. And particularly if you're speaking in the winter and if you're speaking in the morning. Because you haven't been talking yet. Unless, how many of you talk in your sleep? Okay, if you don't talk in your sleep, then you haven't been talking. So you need to warm up. Breathe. Now this is another thing that happens. When we get nervous, we hold our breath. You can't speak if you hold your breath. Get there early. I got here today 25 minutes before. If I was using the equipment, I'd add another 20 minutes to that. Because you know the rule about the equipment, don't you? Murphy's rule? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something's going to happen, right? Okay? But, there were a lot of little things that needed adjustment, and I got here early enough to do them. Always get there early, because then you just relax. So what if you're done and the audience is not there? Sit down and relax for a few minutes. Go over your notes again. Act confident until you feel confident. The worst thing you want to do is get up in front of the audience and say, I'm so nervous. It's my first presentation. You don't want to do that. That's just, right away your credibility has gone down. Concentrate, this is very important. I want you to highlight this one, please. Concentrate on your audience, not yourself. So, because you know what happens? We're so worried about, I wonder how I'm coming across. Do I look okay? Do I sound okay? No, 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 no. Think about the people. What are you seeing from their facial expression? Do they look bored? Do they look tired? Do they look amused? Do they, look at them. And you know what? You forget to worry about yourself because you're looking at the people. Seek objective evaluation. So in other words, the kind of thing that we're going to do next week, ask people that you trust to say, listen to this and tell me what you like, and always ask the like first, and then suggestions for improvement. You have to make sure that you use those two questions, because otherwise people's critiques can be damaging. So be very choosy about who you ask for critique from, because if you ask somebody who's just a picky person, then they'll pick on things and you'll say, I never knew I blinked that much. Do I blink a lot? Then you'll really start blinking. I didn't know I blinked. Do I blink? I didn't know that. They're going to give you problems you didn't know you had. You don't need those problems. So only ask for critique from people that you trust and give them the guidelines of what you like about it and suggestions for improvement in that order. Okay? Make sense? Okay. Now, I really suggest a speaker's diary. Now, what this is you can put this right into the nice bifold that Toby gave you. You can use that paper that she gave you. Every time you do a presentation, I recommend that you jot down what went well and suggestions for improvement for yourself. Now, particularly on logistics, because if you're not presenting on a regular basis, let's say every 6 months you do like a conference and you're not doing it regularly, then you might forget that, oh, that's right, I have to remember to bring my travel drive, or I have to remember I need extra speakers, or these little notes that you won't remember unless you keep a note. So I really recommend that. Also, anything that you did that worked really well. Like I asked the audience an opening question, and that worked really well. Write it down so you remember to do it next time. And of course, keep your sense of humor. Okay. Any questions on that at all? Any questions? Okay, so now, based on your self-assessment and this page 5 here, I want you to identify the top 3 stage fright antidotes that you need to focus on next week when you do the presentation for me. Of this list, 3 that you think will work best for you, and note them down here. Questions? Okay.